welcome back to my channel. My name is Shaki or Shak, and today I'm going to be filming something extra special, and that is the Heather's book tag. I saw Connie over at Connie Bell do this on their channel and I was captivated. They didn't tag me or anything, I just felt like I really wanted to do this because over the last few months or so I've been really falling in love with Heather's and the soundtrack and just the movie and everything like that. So I thought this was a really interesting tag to do. I won't be tagging anyone in this because I'm not too sure who's done it, who wants to do it, and I'm pretty sure the people I would want to tag anyway I've tagged in the last like 5 tag videos anyway. So the usual, if you want to do this then consider yourself tagged. Also another disclaimer that I'm going to talk about before the video starts is I'm not entirely sure who created this tag. I will leave the same link that Connie left in her video in the description box below. I'll also leave Connie's video and the questions if you want to play along. Without further ado though, here is my version of the Heather's book tag. So each of the questions symbolises a song from the musical and has a prompt. So the first one is Candy Store, and the prompt for this one is for people to pick a book they were forced into reading. Now I could have had potentially 2 answers for this one, but because I always do that, I was not going to do that, so I'm going to pick one of them to start off with. I originally had a positive impact on me with the force of having to read it by BookTube, and then a negative one as well, but I've just decided to go full shade and do the negative one because why the hell not? If you've watched the channel or you know me, then you'll know this is about to come, but I was forced into reading The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. I didn't particularly enjoy this book. This is the book for me that really just put me off historical fiction and made me think, you know what, historical fiction really just isn't the genre for me. A lot of people on BookTube and in real life as well, this is their favourite book, and I just felt really forced to read this to catch up. It's one of like the classics, I would say. I don't really particularly enjoy this, and I don't know if it's because I was pressured to reading it and that's why I didn't enjoy it, or just because historical fiction isn't my thing, or a bit of both. The next prompt is for Fight For Me, and this one is a book with a really cool fight scene. I improvised that probably isn't the question, but here we go. For this one I'm going to go with something that I haven't really talked about on the channel a lot, and that is The Method by Shannon Kirk. Although this wasn't the best book in the entire world, it did have some fucking amazing fight scenes when she actually breaks free. If you didn't know, this is about a pregnant 16-year-old, I know right, it sounds radical, it is pretty, it's a roller coaster. It's about a 16-year-old who's pregnant who has been captured, and the captors want to sell her baby because it was gonna have blonde hair and blue eyes. It's for genetic reasons and they make money, and then they take the baby and kill the mother. And so our main character finds herself in the hands of these really dangerous captors, but she is more dangerous than them and than they realise. Although it's not the best written or the best plot, it really does get your heart racing, and when the main character eventually does attack, she does it with such precision and such intelligence that it makes for an amazing fight scene. I also feel like with The Method we don't see a lot of women using their brains and intelligence and then fighting. We normally just see them like luring the bad guys off with their bodies or flirting with them or like that, but I feel like The Method is one of the only books I've read in a very long time that a woman uses her intellect to get where she wants and like fight the bad guys with her brain. The next prompt is Freeze Your Brain, which is a book that makes all your sad feelings go away. I have picked this book for 2 reasons. One, because it actually does make my sadness go away and made me very happy when I read it, and 2, it's about ice cream, so it's gonna make you brain freeze anyway, and that is Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. Again, this wasn't the best book that I've ever read. I actually don't remember what I gave it on Goodreads. I think it was a 3 or a 4, I don't remember. It was certainly memorable and it certainly did make me happy while I was reading it, and it is about ice cream. So it will freeze your brain. The next prompt is for Big Fun, a book you enjoyed more than you thought you would. So for this prompt I've decided to go with The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon because I went into this knowing nothing about it. I just thought it was going to be another contemporary YA story about 2 lovers who just fall in love, but oh my god, it's so much more than that. This made me cry because it's a book about the universe and how cruel it can be sometimes. It's split into 3 like perspectives. One of them is the universe and 2 of them are obviously the main characters. It made me bawl and I liked it so much more than I thought I would. The next prompt is of course for Dead Girl Walking, and it is for a book with the best sex scene in. Now I've kind of cheated with this one because A, my answer is very predictable, which we'll understand in a minute. B, it's not actually a sex scene, it's just fucking funny because I don't really read a lot of books that have sex scenes in them. For this prompt I'm going to go with Looking for Alaska by John Green, specifically the scene where Alaska teaches Miles' girlfriend or partner or sexual interest at the time how to give a blowjob with a toothpaste thing. It made me laugh. It is kind of the more sexier side of this novel, and then she obviously goes to perform oral sex on him because Alaska did teach her how to using a toothpaste bottle thing. But I thought it was really funny, and the only real way I can approach this without just saying How Do You Like Me Now by Holly Bourne, because it's the only adult novel that I've ever read. The next prompt is for the me inside of me. So this is basically a question / prompt that follows a character that you love that you're actually supposed to hate. And I actually have an answer for this that covers more than one character. For this prompt, I've decided to go with Trainspotting by Irvine Welsh because the entire character cast of this book are affected by drugs. I know that addiction isn't something that we should probably like skirt around in literature anymore, and addiction is a disease. It doesn't persecute against anyone, it can take anyone's life. But I feel like these boys in this novel are all affected by drugs in different ways and are trying to get clean and stuff, and it's just a road of recovery that some audience members might not understand. I love all of the characters in here, especially Renton and Sick Boy. I love them so much, and this book kind of just pulls at my heartstrings because although they're drug dealers and they do shitty things to fulfill this drug addiction, we're supposed to not like them, but because they are funny and because they have a different side to them, we do love them. And I think that's how it breaks down the stigma of drug dealers being these human shells when they have a personality. They just have an addiction, which is more of a mental health issue rather than them being a horrible person that needs to be hated on. Next prompt is for Blue, a book that made you want more. For this prompt, I decided to go with To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I recently read this because a Netflix original movie came out, and I could have done this for the first question as well. This was my like positive answer for the book 2 question. I really did enjoy this, and I'm so excited to read the second one. The next prompt is Our Love Is God, and this is for an OTP who could take over the world. This prompt, I'm going to be talking about a book that I haven't spoken about on my channel for quite a long time since I did a review on it, which I'll leave below, and that is Parzival and Artemis by Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I do have a spoiler-free review, as I just said, so I'll link it below. But yeah, I feel like this OTP in this book could literally take over the world if they really wanted to, and I just love them so much. Also, if you're watching and you're from my family and you want to know what to get me for Christmas, get me the Parzival and or Artemis pop vinyls and I will love you forever this Christmas. The next prompt is for My Dead Gay Son, which is to show an LGBTQ+ book. And for this one, I decided to go with The Art of Being Normal by Lisa Williamson because I love this book so much. It was a really good portrayal of being trans and being, you know, outed. I just decided to put this one in because I could have been really predictable and going with the Nowhere Girls or Simon Versus or Leah. But I decided to go with this one because not many people are talking about it, and I feel like it's a really good representation and a really good book overall. The next prompt is for the song 17, and this is for a book character who just wants to live a normal life. For this prompt, I've decided to go with A Brighter Fate by Kerry Drury, and this, my friends, is actually signed. I picked this up blindfolded and I had no idea if I was going to like it or not, and I did. I absolutely loved it. But specifically from this book, I decided to take the character Lena, who is the main character, for this prompt, just having to pick between university and actually living, and it's just not what every teenage girl is going to have to decide in their life, whether they want to study or whether they want to live or whether they want to like save certain family members. It's all pretty dense for a teenager, and I do feel like she just wants to live a normal life, and she has some immature decisions to get her there, and I love this book so much. The next prompt is for the song Lifeboat, and this is for a book that has mental illness mentioned in it or subjects. I don't know the question, but I just know what it's about. This one and the next one both come from the same author, and I could have picked Eliza and Her Monsters, which is kind of a cop-out. But again, I really wanted to talk about in this tag and in this question in general, books that I haven't spoken about before and I haven't seen anyone else spoke about either. So this book that I'm picking for this prompt is All That She Can See by Carrie Hope Fletcher. I actually met Carrie a week ago today, and my edition of this and the next book that I'm going to show you are both signed. I do have a vlog of that signing, so I will leave a link to that in the description box below. So this book doesn't exactly deal with, you know, mental health as in like going to a counsellor and stuff like that. This book surrounds Cherry, who is assumably in her like village just an ordinary baker, but what people don't know is that she's different from other bakers and that she can see people's emotions, and therefore she bakes things and sells them to specific customers to help them with their struggles. So this book does tackle mental health and mental illness, but in such a different way than other books that I have found before. It's a really good book, an interesting read, and a very original one at that. The last prompt is for I Am Damaged, and for this prompt we have to pick a book in which a character sacrifices himself for somebody else. I've already told you that this book is by Carrie Hope Fletcher, and that is When the Curtain Falls. I also have this signed, as you can see. Again, the vlog for the signing will be in the description box below. But When the Curtain Falls is quite dark and twisty, which was very unexpected. There's a production of When the Curtain Falls almost 50 years later, and in the last production that was run in the same theatre, Fawn died on stage. She was the leading lady and she died on stage. No spoilers or anything, but it made me bawl, very much so. It made me absolutely cry. So there was my Heathers the Musical book tag. I really hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a massive thumbs up and subscribe. I make booktube content every Tuesday, or sometimes I'll just upload like a vlog or something because I want to upload it. I also have a main channel, Shaktak, which I will link below as well, which I post twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays. Again, I'm not really tagging anyone because I don't actually know who likes musicals and who doesn't, and if you do, if you've done this before, if you haven't and you're seeing this, please go ahead and do this tag. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week or whenever I post next. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye!
You've got a face for a smile, you know. A shame you're wasted when you're breaking me slowly. But I've got a word